First, we are 2 weeks now into the 2025 election campaign, and we've seen this week on Sky News the leaders' debate, the Treasurer's debate, with the Prime Minister and Peter Dutton taking questions from an audience of undecided voters. Now, I might be in a majority here, but I think Anthony Albanese looked forced, awkward and wary of Peter Dutton. And Tuesday night gave the opposition leader a much-needed personal boost in his own confidence. And when you have to think about it, he did that all the while knowing that his father in Queensland had just suffered a heart attack. I mean, confidence is everything in these election campaigns, in these contests. But have a look at how Dutton handled some of those tricky questions.
How will cutting migration affect industries like healthcare and construction? And what will you do to ensure migration discussions remain respectful and avoid demonising migrants?
If we've had a 65% increase, and if the government's going to bring in a population bigger than Adelaide over a 5-year period and take money out of infrastructure at the same time, it's going to have an impact. So we have to have a managed migration program, and our argument is that you can reduce it from the record level that it's at the moment down by 25% for 2 years, which will create about 100,000 homes, and that will help young Australians get into housing.
Pretty concise, and compare that look people in the eye with a hint of a smile performance to the way that the Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, waffled around.
And all you need is this little thing here, Prith. You just need your Medicare card, not your credit card, because Labor created Medicare, will strengthen Medicare, and will make sure that in the future we get those bulk billing rates back up.
Seriously, how many times have you been to the doctor where you just need your Medicare card and not your credit card? Now, not surprisingly, many in the media focused on the audience vote that gave the win to the Prime Minister, but it was a victory, I think, that Peter Dutton badly needed. His work from home for public servants policy, well, that was cleverly twisted by the Labor campaign to scare anyone who listened to it, especially women, and make them think that it was actually aimed at all of them. I mean, Peter Dutton was right to rip that Band-Aid off that policy and bin it. And if he wins, though, he should insist that most Canberra-based public servants, and do they work very hard? Probably not, do go into the office. I mean, hardly a tough commute, I wouldn't think. So as we wrap up week 2, the Prime Minister, as we said, was in Darwin. Now, increasingly, and I dined, interesting, last night with an Alice Springs local. And this person told me that the Prime Minister still has not been forgiven for his fly-in, fly-out visit there at the height of their youth crime crisis. You remember that? Flew in, gave them some money and flew out again, and I don't believe he's been back since. Will he go to with the Alice during the campaign? I doubt it. Now, this local I had dinner with was generous in her praise of the new CLP Northern Territory leader, Leah Finocchiaro, who apparently quietly visits Alice Springs and actually gets things done. The Territory should be good in this campaign for Peter Dutton. Here he was in Perth explaining today why he's going to scrap Labor's car and ute tax. Now, this is the fines, ridiculous as they are, to any car company that sells too many so-called high-emission vehicles.
Australians under this government, many of them are giving up hope of buying a home, for goodness sake. People who have to buy a car over the next 5 years know that under Mr Albanese, if he's re-elected with the Greens, they're going to be paying $14,000 more for a Ford Ranger. I mean, how out of touch is he that he thinks Australians have got a lazy 14 grand lying around to buy a Ford Ranger, or about 12 grand to buy a Hilux?
And imagine, think about it, imagine trying to live in WA or the Northern Territory without those sorts of vehicles, or having to pay more for them, because Chris Bowen tells us that he wants to. So campaigning turns to campaign launches this weekend. The Prime Minister will do it in Perth. The opposition leader will launch his campaign in Sydney. And the contest will be frantic next week as the whole thing, the whole campaign, the 2025 election campaign, well, it grinds to a halt on Good Friday with the Easter break.